Hey everybody, David Guido here, founder and CEO, Chief Encouragement Officer at DRG Performance Solutions, and the author of the brand new book, What If? 30 Days to Powerful New Perspective, that just came out. So excited about that, and thank you for everybody who's supported me so far. I'm so grateful and humbled by the support I've been receiving. This week, we're going to talk about smiling, just smiling, having a smile as often as possible. And we're going to look at it from some of the, I'll call them hidden benefits to smiling. You know, there's been all kinds of reports and talk shows have discussed it in medical journals and all that. There's health benefits and stress benefits and all of those things that are out there for reasons for smiling. And we're going to look at some kind of less often discussed, as far as I could find, but some powerful benefits to smiling more often. And having the scowl less often. And let me ask you a question. Have you ever had one of those days where you couldn't stop smiling, no matter what? You know, just whatever input was coming in, you were just on your A game and you were smiling and you were just in that zone, right? And how was that day for you? And how did you impact other people? And conversely, the days you had the scowl, and no matter what input you got, no matter how hard somebody tried to make you smile, it just wasn't happening. What kind of day was that for you? And what kind of impact did you have on people, including people that you don't know, that you just met through living life that day? And I know for me, for years, decades, you know, again, I just sad and angry and depressed, and I had perma-scowl. I did not smile very often at all. And it affected my health and stress levels and all that, but also affected some other areas that we're going to talk about in a few minutes. And what I found was that by smiling and by developing the habit, really, of smiling far more often, I was able to impact these specific areas greatly. And once I discovered that, then I figured out what the best moves, what the best strategies are to ensure that I was smiling as often as possible. Now, I'm not perfect by any means. You know, this week here that I'm recording this video has been a challenging week, and I've had to work extra hard on my tips and moves and strategies to keep smiling. So it's by no means a fix, a permanent fix, because it's something you have to work at on a regular basis. But what we're going to look at is we're going to look at 5 not as often discussed benefits to developing that habit of smiling, why you should smile as often as possible. And we're going to look at those 5 moves, those 5 tips, those 5 strategies, those 5 techniques that I've used to help me get to a point where I smile way more often than ever before. And when I find myself in a position where I kind of get into that slump, I can rely on these to pull me out and get me back to that centered place where I'm smiling. So, what are those 5 benefits, those 5, the 5 things you're going to feel, you're going to get, right? So the first is, smiling focuses our mind on the positive, right? So when you are scowling, you can't be positive. You can't go around going, it's a sunny day today, I'm happy, I'm excited, it's beautiful out, blue sky. It doesn't work that way. Conversely, if you are in that habit and in that mode of smiling as often as possible, and you use the strategies, you can be like, you know what, it's not such a nice day outside, it's not beautiful today, but it's good, and you can find the good, you can focus on the positive, you can find positive stuff, right? And smiling helps you focus on the positive and takes your mindset away from the negative. So that's the first benefit. It just makes you more positive in your mind, and it generates positive thoughts and sends you down positive roads instead of negative roads. The second is it makes us more productive and more creative. There was a recent study done in the UK by is it economists? Yes, economists, I got it right. There was a study done by these people in the economy world, and what they discovered was that workers who are happy, they are 12% more productive than the average. And the workers that are unhappy are on average 10% less productive than the standard, than the average. In and of themselves, not huge numbers, but there's a 22% difference there. The people that are happy are 22% more productive than the people who are unhappy. Follow that up with a study that was done at the University of California, San Francisco in 2013, which found that in all cases, the people who were smiling were always happier. We kind of knew that. But it led to those happier people being significantly better at problem solving, at being creative, at being productive. So when we smile, we generate those endorphins and all of that stuff that make us more productive, more creative. And it just makes sense. When you're scowling and you're frowning, you're not in a great place, you're not going to attack what you need to attack. And your mind is, you're not focused on positive stuff, so you're not focused on solutions. You're focused on problems, as we talked about with number one. So we want to smile to increase our productivity and our creativity. The third is it helps us achieve our goals faster, discover our purpose and our passion, and be in tune with our purpose and passion. When we're in a bad mood, when we're frowning, and when we've got a scowl, we can't possibly get to our goals. We can't possibly focus in on our passion and our purpose because our frown is making our mind go elsewhere. That whole focus on the positive, focus on the negative we talked about a minute ago. When we are in that zone where we're smiling, now we're looking for the solutions, we're creative, now we're achieving more, we're more productive. But that means we're getting closer to our goals. It means that we're fulfilling our purpose. It means we're attacking our mission and we're achieving it. So that's the third benefit. The fourth benefit is it gives us more energy for all of that stuff. I've never met anybody walking around like this who was full of energy, who was excited, who was pumped, who was on the edge of their seat, who was on their toes. It doesn't happen. Conversely, somebody who's smiling, they're on their feet, they're on their toes, they're up on their haunches in their seat, and they're attacking, and they're going, and they're achieving, and they're productive, and they're creative, and they're focused on the positive, and all that stuff. So it creates more energy to smile. And the last is that literally it could save a life. True story in the 70s. Unfortunately, a gentleman left his apartment in San Francisco, walked to the Golden Gate Bridge, and jumped. When the assistant medical examiner and an investigator went back to the gentleman's apartment after everything happened, they found a note. And the note said, "If one person smiles at me, I won't jump." Are you going to save a life every day by smiling at everyone you meet? No. Highly unlikely. But you can impact people. You can change somebody's day. You can be the difference in somebody's life every day by smiling. We have that power. We have that ability. And it's one of the great benefits to smiling as often as possible is the impact it can make on other people. So those are the 5 things I discovered that if I smile and I get in that habit, that are going to happen for me. That I'm going to be focused on the positive more often, that I'm going to be more productive and creative, that I'm going to achieve my goals, my mission, my purpose faster and better, that I'm going to do all of those things with more energy, and that I'm going to impact people positively. What are those 5 moves, tips, strategies that I invoke, that I've been invoking a lot this week, as I mentioned earlier? Well, the first, we've talked about this a million times, your victories and your qualities list. Every week it seems we're talking about this. But do you have that list of all the victories you've ever had, all of your amazing qualities? Again, not arrogant, not cocky, not braggadocious, with humility and with an understanding that you're gifted and you're blessed. But the power of every day leaving the house after reviewing your amazing victories and your awesome qualities, how can you not smile? Ending every day, no matter what's happened to you, no matter how many people have kicked your can that day, no matter how many people have tried to just bring you down, the last thing you do before you put your head in your pillows, you go, yeah, look at all these victories. Look at all these great things I've done. Look at all these great qualities I have. If that's the last thing you see, you put your head down on the pillow with a smile every time. The second thing is your gratitude list. You know, Zig always said, why do we repeat these things? Zig always said that it starts with you. It always starts with you. And so we repeat these things because they're so important, because everything starts with you. Smiling on a regular basis is not about everybody else, it's about you. So it starts with you, your victories, your qualities list, but also your gratitude list. The attitude of gratitude is the greatest attitude that you could ever have, as Zig himself said. And so if you've got that list of things you're grateful for, and you start to struggle, and you find yourself frowning and scowling more than smiling, or it's coming closer to 50-50, get out that gratitude list and go, wait a minute, look at all these great things that I have to be grateful for. This is so cool. And watch the smile just envelop your face, your gratitude list. The third is to manage your self-talk. I've never run into somebody smiling, positive, and upbeat who's telling themselves negative stuff about them, about the political climate, about society, about the things that are going on in the media, about their own personal life, about their relationships. When your self-talk is negative, you can't smile. But when you manage that input, when you manage the conversation you have with yourself, and you keep it positive, you can't help but smile. And the fourth is to have the servant's attitude. Again, something we've talked about before, but when you're doing for others, as we've said, every study, every survey says it, when you're putting other people first and you're serving people, the servant's heart, the servant's attitude, you are happier, you are more peaceful, you have more joy on your heart, you are the most fulfilled. Well, if you're in a place of absolute peace and happiness and joy and fulfillment, how can you frown? How can you scowl? That's going to immediately bring a smile onto your face. So if you're looking for ways to serve other people, you're going to smile. And last but not least is to find the good in every situation. And that's hard to do. And I understand that. And it doesn't mean you ignore or pretend the situation's not bad or that you lie about something just to say it's good. When my dad died, he was healthy on one Monday. In fact, I think it was Labor Day. He was healthy. 1 week later, he was gone. And in the midst of that pain, I was able to say, you know what? It's really good that he didn't suffer, that he went quickly, because what was ailing him, if it had been treated, he would have suffered for a long time, and he would have eventually died anyway. Conversely, my mom suffered with cancer for months, bolted away. And when she passed, within that pain, I was able to say, it's really good that we had time to say our goodbyes, tie up loose ends, have some laughs with her, and enjoy some time with her. Doesn't mean the pain doesn't exist, even today. Doesn't mean that we're making fun of it or mocking it or pretending that it goes away. And it certainly doesn't mean that it's easy. But a powerful strategy, a powerful move to make is that when something is happening, to find the good in it, because there is good in every situation. And when you find it, you're more apt to smile and then have all of those other benefits come along with it. It's been a long road for me because I was so unhappy for so long. It's a wonder my face didn't form a permanent scowl based on how long I was scowling more than smiling. But I discovered that when I focus on the positive, I smile way more often. I found that I'm more productive and I'm more creative, that I achieve my goals, my mission, and my purpose with far greater energy, and that I impact people positively when I smile. And I know that that's what I want my life to be about. So I invoke the moves, the strategies. So I review my victories and qualities list. I review my gratitude list. I manage my self-talk. And as soon as I see the input from myself or from outside getting negative, I immediately switch it and turn it. I have the servant's attitude. And I try ever so hard to always find something good, no matter what's happening. Lesson learned, whatever it might be. Those are the 5 tips, strategies, the 5 moves you can make. And if you embark on those are things you can do right away. And if you do that, you will see those benefits. In addition to the health, the better health and the less stress and all those other things that are talked about regularly, you'll also see these other things happen for you. And you'll be happy, and you'll be moving forward, and you'll be living that life that is so good. So thank you, as always, for watching. Thank you for listening. Thank you for reading. You know, if you know somebody, our goal here is to impact people. Our goal here is to help transform, to help people with paradigm shifts. So if there's somebody you know that is struggling, they're sad or mad or scowling more often than they're smiling, share this with them in the hopes that it will serve them, that it will give them a trigger to turn and go in a different direction and start smiling. And I hope and I pray that that's the case for you as well. So thank you again. And until the next time, go out there every single day, discover something new, learn something new every day, discover something new. Reach for your stars. Go for it. And your life will be so good.